Welcome back to Tomahawk Sports Talk. We're bringing you all the news and information about Florida State athletics. I'm Brandon Nyson.
I'm Blake Overbeck.
And I'm Matthew Soul.
So we'll kick it off to Matthew for some girls soccer and some boys tennis. Matthew, how are the infamous girls soccer team doing?
Girls soccer on a 4-game winning streak, starting the season 4-0 and 2-0 in conference. 3-2 win against Oak Park, 5-2 win against Van Horn, and then the other day against Belton, 4-0 win or 4-0 win. 3 goals for McKinley Matthews, 1 goal for McKenna Simons. And then yesterday against Ruskin, they won 9-0. 4 goals for Kenna Simons, 2 goals for Kinley Matthews, Jaylee Smith with a goal, Dakota Bennetson with a goal, and Maya Kevler with a goal. So shout out to girls soccer for killing it.
Yeah, I mean, that offense on the girls' side has just been incredible. I mean, Kenna Simons mixing the two up.
And then holding the last 2 teams to 0. So.
Yeah. I mean, you see Kenna Simons there. She's been on an absolute hot streak, carrying that momentum from last season. Of course, she was a Conference Player of the Year last season and just had a great mark. And honestly, that Belton score is kind of misleading, I believe, because I was on commentary for that game, and it just Florida State was in control the entire time. Feel like a 70-30, 80-20 split in possession. And it was a Coach Hinkley classic, just playing it down the wings. You see fullbacks get 50 throw-ins, Blake, you would know about that. And just just to keep the momentum up. But Belton had this one girl, number 13, that just every single time it felt like there was a through ball, which is what the Indians thrive on. She was just right there making a play. And it's just sort of incredible to see how that one player can kind of shut down the Indians' offense at time, but obviously it wasn't enough. I think it's just going to be interesting to see how the Indians kind of change their perspective around when they're facing teams that kind of match them athletically. As, of course, we saw McKinley Matthews and Kenna both are in track or did track multi-sport athletes. Same with Baylor Perry. And it's just that athletic front three, you kind of have to fight fire with them. Just he had to be more athletic, more physical than them. And Belton was sort of able to do that. And do you know who they play next week?
Next week I'm not sure. Tonight they play 6-1 Kearney at Kearney. So
that's going to be a very fun game.
Yeah, that'll be a good game. Good luck to them tonight, Coach Hinkley and the girls.
It's going to be interesting to see how they, of course, when they face the Graden Valleys and Platte counties of the world, it's going to be interesting to see how they play them.
Yeah, definitely. On to boys tennis. They started their season, Tuesday, against St. Joe Central. And that resulted in an L 0-9. So coming up, they play a couple winnable matches against Ruskin, Grandview, and then Raytown next week. So we'll see how they do. Tonight they play Ruskin. So good luck to boys tennis. Get their season kicked off.
So
You want to do?
Yeah. So I'll start off with some track and some boys volleyball. So on the track side, there was a first meet this past Friday at the Bob Thorpe Invitational in Ray Peck. A lot of good placements for the Indians in a meet where there's a lot of some tailwind there. So go see how the Indians kind of develop after that. So on the girls' side, Kamika Jackson got third in the 100. Kinley Matthews got fourth in the 100. With those two scores were .02 between each other. And then Kamika Jackson getting into 200 placed fifth. Lacey Zorn placed first in the 100-meter hurdles. The girls 4x2 placed second. Weniva Faitau placed second in the long jump. Jade Gaither placed fifth in the triple jump. And that's all the results for the girls' side. So you see, first meet, there's some pretty good placements. I think it's going to be interesting to see how the girls' team develops, especially at a meet where it's cold, windy, where you're not going to perform your best. But to see them just have good performances, good top 5 place finishes in a meet where that attracts schools from all around. And on the boys' side, Jackson Lear placed third in the 110-meter hurdles. Shout out Jackson, had a 1-second PR. Big time for him. And then Landon Long placed fifth in the high jump. And then Nathan Underwood placed third in the discus, and Preston Brashear placed fourth in the discus. So all around, there's you see there's some definitely good inklings to start there on the boys' side and on the girls' side. So it's going to be very interesting to see how they develop. There's a meet this Friday, but I think it'll probably get canceled.
Where?
At Boost Ring South. So then, now we move on to boys volleyball. They had a tournament on the 28th where they played multiple other teams. I don't know what the tournament was, but they played Benton, where they tied 1-1. Park Hill South lost 2-0. Rockbridge, where they lost 2-0. And Oak Park, where they lost 2-0. And then they played St. Michael's Archangel, and they lost 0-3. They play St. Pius today in a match that will be very interesting to watch. The boys volleyball team in their first season as a mission program have showed a lot of promise. They're a team that they play a lot of great teams that are good at volleyball.
Yeah, that's what I was going to say. Like, you look at that, and if you just take that for face value, like, that's a rough stretch, obviously. But, I mean, those are great programs that they're facing in a row there at that tournament, so you can't really hold it against the boys volleyball team too much.
Yeah, they have a lot of great talent on a team like Gordon Milwaukee and Landon Stoddard, to name a few. Those two are kind of the core
Noah
of the
Ramirez.
team. And it's going to be interesting to see how they play. They play St. Pius and Lincoln Prep on Saturday. And then they play Rockbridge again. So after the Chopping Block Invitational.
That's what it's called?
Chopping Block Invitational.
Who do they play in that?
That was the tournament on the 28th.
Oh, that was the tournament name?
Yeah. Yeah, they don't play much games as you usually would expect. They played 11 games so far, but they're playing 21 games. And then I think the girls' side plays like 30 or more. So, but of course, boys volleyball is a growing sport, so we'll see how that kind of develops. Then, Blake, do you want some boys baseball and golf?
Yeah.
Well, baseball only has boys. I don't think you have to put the boys.
You should have said boys golf and baseball.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah?
Boys baseball and golf.
Yeah, that's not me.
We live and we learn.
Yeah, but on last Thursday, I believe. Last Thursday, we played St. Pius X at home, and they spread us 15-5. But I mean, I wish that game, the wind was blowing straight out. St. Pius literally hit everything. But on the bright side, Caden Hansen had a 3 RBI double late in the game that kind of invented some hope, but St. Pius came in and scored like 4 in the next inning, so it just went away.
Yeah, I was at that game. It was just a rough outing there for the Indians. Like you said, they were just hitting the ball like crazy. I mean, one kid hit a home run there and felt like it left the park in 2 seconds.
Yeah, and Connor was on the mound, and Connor had pretty good command. He didn't really walk a ton of people, but he would give up. Like 2 guys would get hits, and then some dude would dink one in over the first baseman's head or third base or whatever. So it's just getting unlucky, and they literally hit everything, like I said. And then this past Monday, we took on Green Valley, where we spread them 11-1 at home. Lucas Tucker went 4 for 4 with 3 home runs and 8 RBIs. What a big game for Lucas.
Yeah, I mean, he's been a guy that's been kind of cold throughout the season, a little slump. And you see him have a kind of a breakout game against the rival Green Valleys, 4 for 4, like you said, 3 home runs. And I wonder what the stats are on that. I mean, that's got to be the first 3 home run game in a long time for the Indians.
Probably since around Pools was here. I'm sure Pools hit 3 in a game before.
I'm sure. Until they intentionally walked him because he was like 25.
Yeah. And also, Bogan Weichel went 5 innings, 4 hits, 1 earned run, 2 strikeouts, and his only earned run was a 430-foot home run to dead center. So I mean,
who hit that?
Bryce Meyer.
You can't blame him.
I mean, that ball was absolutely smashed. And then two of the other hits were given up to the same guy. So Bogan really shut down. He really shut down the Eagles. I mean, they just couldn't hit him. I mean, they're weak contact, weak ground balls. Bogan never walks people. I mean, that's why Coach Colster invented the name Phil, because he fills up the zone.
Phil.
Yeah.
Wait, what about his nickname for Colin?
Yeah.
Can we say that?
I'm sure you can say that.
Strat Daddy.
Strat Daddy.
For those
That's
who are curious, that's what Coach Colster calls him.
Coach Colster invented that last year along with Phil. I don't really think anybody else has any nicknames though. I mean, every time we're doing a bunting drill, Coach Bissell cracks a joke about Aiden Bunting. He's like, we're gonna do some bunting, not Aiden Bunting.
I think my favorite Colster moment is the tunnel vision against Whispering South. Do you remember that?
Yeah, the tunnel
That was
vision.
probably my favorite Coach.
It's actually a good tip, but everyone, I mean,
Was like trying not to laugh.
yeah, I mean,
Can you explain to us that story?
No.
but yeah, it's always a fun time with the baseball team. And then we were supposed to play Belton yesterday. That got rained out, so we're going to play a doubleheader against them since they're conference. And then I'm sure today's game against St. Joe Central will get rained out too. I don't know if
to rain.
Well, I mean, it rained all night, so the field is
Damp.
yeah, because we still have a dirt field, by the way. And then tomorrow we play Raytown South, which they have turf, so we'll play that game. Let's wrap it up some boys golf. Last Wednesday they had a 9-hole match against Belton where they took a 180 to 224 win, which they had 180 because in golf, if you didn't know, you want to have the lowest score. The top scorers in that match were Xander Hefner with the 41, Brandon Ferguson with the 43, and Bogan Weichel with the 44. Sorry about that. And then on March 30th, they were in the Liberty North Invite where they had a team score 366. Isaiah Parton had an 81 and Xander Hefner an 87. So.
Does it say on there who's the top, like, who all golf varsity?
Yeah, on the little spreadsheet.
Yeah.
I'll pull it up real quick. Coach Bennett.
Because when it was between like Braden Bodendek and Evan.
I know. In the Liberty North one I just talked about, it was Braden Bonendek.
I was just curious.
Yeah, Coach Bennett shared me the thing that they use.
Shout out Coach Bennett.
Let's see.
Yo, they could not possibly need that video that loud out there.
I mean, they're just watching Jackcast.
Mm.
You know
What
what Jackcast is?
Liberty North.
Yeah, Blue Spring South.
News.
Yeah, it was Xander Hefner 87, Isaiah Parton 81, Brandon Ferguson 92, and then Braden Bonendek was rounding it out. So.
Gotcha. Well, is that all we got?
Yeah, they have the Green Valley tournament on Monday. Boys golf does. So hopefully they can go out and beat the Green Valley team. I bet the Green Valley team is really good. The Green Valley golf team.
Oh, yeah.
They are like really good. So you want to round us out, Braden?
Thanks for
Yeah.
tuning in. Tune in next week for another episode of Tomahawk Sports Talk.
Connor Barlow will be on the episode.
Yeah,
will be on the
so-
podcast next week.
Trigger warning.
Trigger warning.
For Connor Barlow, yes.
CB.
Is there tribal review this week or no?
No.
No
Or-
tribal review.
Well, we might have to do tribal review like vlog style.
Well, thanks for tuning in. See you next week.